Hi everybody, welcome to my channel, Dust Covers for Wanderlust. Today I am doing a new tag that I found. Well, not really new, it's a really old tag, but I've been seeing a lot of videos of it recently. The makeup tag. So in this tag, every step of putting on your makeup has a question. Every product has a question that goes along with it. So I'll be answering questions, putting on makeup, talking about books, and of course at the end, all the questions and information that I've talked about today will be linked in the info section below. So I realized when I was done editing and going back through that my step one actually didn't end up recording, and instead of going back and taking off all of my makeup and redoing it, I am doing it now. The first step is foundation. I use Covergirl Simply Ageless 3-in-1 in Ivory. So that is my foundation. I'm not going to put it on, obviously, because I just did my full face. But the question for step one is your favorite first book in a series, and I chose First Life by Gena Showalter. It's a super interesting book. It's one that I've never heard of before, but I was immediately drawn into and devoured it within a couple days. I loved it. It's a book about the afterlife. Follows this girl named Tenley who is unable to make a decision on where she would like to end up in her afterlife. Because right now she's living, but when you die, you go into two different realms. Troika and Myriad. I don't know if I'm actually saying those right, but those are the two different realms. One is supposedly good, one is supposedly evil. So she's put away in this insane asylum because she is not actually making the choice. And in here, both sides are trying to sway her to join. There's a lot of action, a lot of really intense dialogue, a really fun main character to follow. Tenley is fantastic. She's got this sarcasm and this wit, but she's a very strong female lead. So, to just add on to the total technology fail of the week, I just accidentally deleted step 2. So step 2 for me was powder. I use Stay Matte Long Lasting Pressed Powder in the color Translucent by Rimmel London. And I just use a brush set that I got at Target from e.l.f. Cheap, because I'm cheap. The question that goes with the powder is your favorite last book of a series, and I chose Mockingjay, the third book in the Hunger Games series by Suzanne. I feel like she did a fantastic job wrapping up the entire story and kind of just leaving us in a satisfied position of ending the story. I've read so many novels and series where it ends and you're like, that was it? That's it? Like, what's happening next? And yes, I do kind of get that feeling a little bit in this one because I want to know more and what happens with the whole world after that, and all the areas and all the districts. But I'm happy enough that it has ended the way that it did because I feel like she doesn't need to continue on to make her story better or anything, because I'm happy with the ending that she chose. So that is my selection for powder. The next step is eyebrows. Now I actually don't ever fill in my eyebrows or anything. Apparently that's something that people are supposed to do. I don't know how to do it. I don't even have any I used to have products, but I'm pretty sure they got thrown away. So I just like to brush them down after I've been all over my face. But the question that goes with this is a book that had a lasting impression. Actually, I do have one for this, and it's a book that not a lot of people have actually read, but it's more of a spiritual book that makes you it makes you think about the world in a different way, and it is Ishmael by Quinn. It's a really interesting read. It's not one that normally people would probably pick up off the shelves and say, hey, I'm gonna read this book about a gorilla. So, and it's literally about a gorilla. This man sees an ad in the paper and he wants to it's a personal section that he finds in the newspaper, and he goes to this enclosure, and there's a gorilla in there, and he has like this mental connection with him, and they talk about life, and they talk about like human nature and humanity and how people are treating each other, and it's very much like an eye-opening book, and I definitely recommend it to people who are looking for something with a unique twist on that kind of nature. So I definitely would say this one, Ishmael, An Adventure of the Mind and Spirit. Next, we move on to eyeshadow. I'm using this little trio called Pacifica, and it's the colors Skinny Dip, Crush, and Lovely. Honestly, I don't really know which one's which. I usually just use this one right here, and then this one as like kind of like a highlighter. But the question that goes with this, sorry, I'm trying to find my brush. The question that goes with this is pick your favorite book, or pick a book that has your favorite colors on the cover. So I chose actually the whole series by Lauren Kate, Fallen, because it has a lot of that black, the grays, some of them have a little bit of red and purple in it, but they're very deep colors, and I'm all about those deep. That's what happens when you try to do your makeup and talk at the same time. It has all those really rich colors, not rich, I can't do this. It has all those really dark colors that I like. My whole wardrobe is black, gray, white with pops of red. So, and the whole series has the same color tones through it, so they look really beautiful on there. So yeah, just gonna quickly finish this, and then I'll be right back. So a step that I try to never skip is eyeliner. Now I use two different ones depending on the day and how I'm feeling. The one I normally go to is Maybelline Unstoppable eyeliner in the dark ebony black, which I have. This one's actually the pewter gray, which I never use, but I use the black one. I'm just out of it, so when I run out of it, I use this theBalm Mr. Right Now eyeliner pencil Scott. I got this in an Ipsy bag once, and I really enjoyed it. I think it's really pretty. So that's what I'm going to use today. And the question for the eyeliner is a dark and mysterious book. Now, I don't read a lot of like dark, mysterious books, I guess, but when I think of dark and mysterious, my mind instantly goes to Ellen Hopkins, whom I just adore. So the book that I chose for dark and mysterious is Impulse by Ellen Hopkins, and it follows, how many people does it follow? I want to say three. A lot of her books follow a lot of different people, but Impulse, I believe, if I remember correctly, it's been a while since I've read it, follows three different kids. I guess I can look on the back. Tony, Vanessa, and Connor. And it's them just trying to deal with the struggles of getting over traumatic events or understanding their sexuality, and things like that. And if you've ever read, I can't do eyeliner while I'm talking. If you've ever read anything by Ellen Hopkins, she's very much, she writes in a very poetic way. All of her pages are stanzas. Some of them can be read in different ways, but it's very unique. They're quick reads. I know this book is kind of a thick one, but I literally read these in just a day or two. But her writing is very unique. She gets very raw and down to the point. She talks about a lot of issues that teenagers and early 20-somethings go through, and even things that people struggle in their everyday lives, like sex, drugs, alcohol, understanding your sexuality, understanding who you are, and trying to overcome those ones. So this one actually I chose this one in particular because of the ending, because the ending of this one, I was like, why would you do that to me? And I don't want to tell you what happens, But when you have hope for a character and she just crushes it, you just kind of want to just punch her in the face. But I would never do that because I want her to keep writing. So my selection for eyeliner is Impulse by Hopkins. And I'm going to do my eyeliner really quick because I can't do it while I'm talking because I'm probably going to make funny faces and I need to like pull my eye and you won't be able to hear me. So fast forward through this part. Does anyone else have that problem where one eye always tends to look perfect and the other one's all crooked? Well, this eye's good and this eye's not so good, but you can see it's crooked, but it is what it is. Mascara is the next step, and I use Covergirl the Super Sizer Fibers in black. It's just called black. It's not even like a fancy name, it's just black. There it is. And the question that goes with mascara is to pick a long book. Now, I've read a lot of really long books. Most recently, for my senior seminar class, I read Anna Karenina by Leo Tolstoy, which was a very long novel. At least it felt like a really long novel. I had the ebook and it was like, 1,000 pages or something. As you can see, this second one down here, it's a Leo Tolstoy book. It has a couple, I think maybe 2 or 3 of his novels in it, so they're very long. But the one that I chose for my mascara, and one that gets a lot of negative reviews, I feel like, is The Host by Stephanie Meyer. It is a very long book. It's pretty thick. It's very much a long read, and it's a long read because there are a lot of really slow parts in the book. They did make this book into a movie. I did not appreciate the movie whatsoever. The book wasn't the best either, but I didn't mind it too terribly much. Kind of like the idea of aliens who come to invade and they kind of like take over human bodies as hosts. And so the world is kind of coming to this sad, bleak ending because all the humans are getting, sorry, there's a bug, are getting taken over by these aliens, and it follows this girl. I'm sorry, it's really hard to do mascara while you're talking about books. It's about this girl who has a host inside of her, but her host and herself actually kind of become allies, and the host, or the alien, decides it wants to help kind of save her, and be in turn against her own people and become part of the human culture. So it's an interesting book. I wouldn't say it's horrible. It's definitely not one of my favorites. I don't even think you can see that I did mascara. The next one is Highlighter. Highlighter, a book that brightens your day. Any day. My highlighter. Let's not jump ahead of ourselves. I use actually Contour and Highlight Palette by L'Oreal Infallible Pro Contour in light or fair because I am pale, as we've said. I don't use this very often, so we're just going to this. But the question that goes with the highlighter is a book that brightens your day. Any Harry Potter book will brighten my day. I can sit and read Harry Potter all day, every day, and be happy, satisfied. Right now I'm actually reading A New World Rising, and I am just in love with it. I get so sucked into it, and I really definitely recommend it. It's from an author that I've never heard of, Jennifer Wilson. I got it in my Owl Crate box, and I'm loving it. It's a dystopian novel. It's kind of like, it's this girl that's living on her own in this post-apocalyptic world and how she's surviving, and it's fantastic. So right now that is definitely my highlight of my reading right now, but of course any Harry Potter book will always brighten my day. That's it. Did I do okay? It's my face in all its glory. Here I am. Alright everyone, that is it for this makeup book tag. I hope you enjoyed the video. As always, make sure you are liking, commenting, and subscribing to my channel, Dust Covers for Wanderlust. And right now, I would like to tag Author Confession and see what her makeup routine and book recommendations are in her video. So, as always, have a great weekend, happy reading, and much love. Bye!